All right, guys, we are back here. I'll give folks a minute to filter in. Just to start out here, I am going to focus in on these tornadoes that are moving towards the St. Louis area. And so, what you see here, this pink polygon over O'Fallon, over St. Charles, over Chesterfield, this is a confirmed tornado warning working towards the northwest side of the St. Louis metro area. So a high population suburban area here, guys, and certainly concerned about the signal that we are seeing right now with this storm. If we go to our clarity radar here, guys, we zoom in, we can click on this. This is an observed tornado. This was a confirmed tornado located over Union. It is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Was confirmed. And if we take a look here, I'm going to look at a couple of things on our Clarity platform. Number one, you can kind of see the lower correlation coefficient values here just to the north of Union, indicating potential debris. If we take a look at our rotation tracks, well, number one, there's a ton of rotation in all of these storms, but you can certainly see that this storm has had a history of some pretty decent rotation. And again, as we zoom all the way in here, it's working into a fairly populated area just west of downtown St. Louis. And then I'd be concerned for the actual downtown part of St. Louis. We need to watch these tornado warnings. We've got two additional tornado warnings right now south of the confirmed tornado in Steelville, Sullivan. As we zoom in here, State Road 21 in Missouri. So, not quite into that higher population area yet. But if it continues to track northeast and the rotation can hold, and again, you can certainly see that this storm has had a history of strong rotation, that would work right towards St. Louis. And so, we're starting to pick up numerous tornado warnings right now with this system. We now have another confirmed tornado down across south central parts of Missouri. This also is accompanied with 2.5 diameter hail, 2.5 inch diameter hail. This storm actually may have the strongest rotation of all of the storms that we're seeing right now. And if we take a look, you can actually kind of see the hook here just south of South Fork, Missouri. If we turn on our correlation, oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a scary signal here in south central Missouri with our correlation coefficient. I'm going to go over to radar scope as well here, guys, and see if we can look at the velocity with this particular cell. And so let me see if I can go over here and share my screen. I want to look here for a second with this storm. This is a gnarly looking storm. Very likely a large, dangerous tornado on the ground right now, moving right through South Fork, just south of West Plains, Missouri. You can see here on the radar. Actually, accidentally switched my radar over there. Let me go back to the other radar and see if we have a better view on this, guys. Well, regardless, strong rotation. You can see kind of the debris ball here. You can see the hook in the storm. If we go back to the correlation coefficient here, real quick, again, this storm probably, guys. Here's your debris ball right here. I'm gonna circle it with my mouse. There's a debris ball right here indicating that there is a tornado on the ground right now, and then these lower correlation values through this area indicating extremely large hail. I would imagine that there's 2 to 3 inch diameter hail out ahead of this storm, or out ahead of this tornado, right in the midst of this supercell. And so, guys, we're certainly concerned about these folks down here across south central parts of Missouri. We also have another tornado warning now issued across northern parts of Arkansas. We've got numerous tornado warnings at this point. Just another new tornado warning issued. Let's go back up to St. Louis. This new tornado warning issued for Wentzville, just north of O'Fallon, just southeast of Troy, Missouri, all the way out to the Illinois Missouri state line. And so now we have one, two, three, four, five different, actually six different tornado warnings. There's another tornado warning up here near Macomb in Illinois associated with these stronger wind gusts as well, up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts in these areas. And so several guys, tornado warnings now in effect. These storms are now getting into the environment that's most favorable for tornadic activity. Increasingly concerned at this point in terms of the tornado activity in eastern Missouri, Arkansas, southern Illinois, and eventually will be into parts of western Kentucky and western Tennessee. Let's go back over to clarity, guys. And again, you can see the low correlation coefficient values down here with this confirmed tornado in West Plains. Starting to get a little bit more concerned with this storm here. You can see the low correlation coefficient value. That's just basically, again, the correlation coefficient is simply a tool used to determine whether the radar is seeing all of the same types of particles. And so your values will be closer to 1 if it's seeing all rain or all snow, for example, and they'll get much lower if there's very large hail or debris lofted into the air, indicating different shapes and sizes of objects that the radar is seeing. And so we've got perhaps some debris indications here. It's not confirmed yet, but if we take a look at the rotation tracks, we have some strong rotation here just south of Steelville, Missouri. And then again, this confirmed tornado here that is working towards the western part of the St. Louis metro area. And then another tornado warning right now, guys, just north of this confirmed tornado. And so we have a lot going on right now out in the state of Missouri. If we zoom things back out, you can see this activity really beginning to get its act together. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings from Dubuque all the way down into northern parts of Arkansas, guys. And I do think that this tornado threat is going to continue in a rather notable way across southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, and northern Arkansas over the next several hours. Now, guys, if you're looking for information about your specific location, I'm going to share here real quick. See if I can pull this map that I made. If you have not seen this map on our Facebook page, I kind of timed out the simulated radar and some of the bigger threats that we're outlining. So let me pull this up for you all and let's go over here. Okay, so this is our latest severe weather threat map for you all to see. And so the red area, you can reference the table to the right. The red area, guys, is going to indicate where severe weather is highly likely. That's going to extend all the way out towards Evansville. 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, a few EF2 plus tornadoes, and probably several additional tornadoes as well, and very large hail. I would not be shocked to see some hail up to 1, 2, 3 inches in diameter with some of the most intense storms. If you are in the orange area, we're likely dealing with numerous severe storms, but not as intense. A few tornadoes, up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, large hail of 1 inch plus in diameter. If you were in the yellow area, if you're in the yellow area, a few severe storms will be possible. We could have wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, an isolated tornado, isolated instances of large hail. And if you're in the green area, I would say severe storms in general are unlikely. And so yellow area, which is this possible level, few severe storms possible, Indianapolis, Columbus, Louisville, Kokomo. Where severe weather is likely, there's numerous severe storms, Lafayette, just west of Bloomington, just kind of Terre Haute and points to the north, Joliet, Chicago. Where widespread severe weather and the most intense severe weather is likely, Champaign, Illinois, Peoria, Springfield, St. Louis, Evansville, Paducah. And so hopefully this kind of helps you all break this down. I'm not going to be able to answer every single question, every single location, so I would refer to this map. If you want a more high-res zoomed in look, it is posted on our Facebook page. And so you can go to our Facebook page. Would highly encourage you to check that out and to share that, tag a friend so they know exactly what to expect for their particular area. I'm hearing more alerts going off, so I want to go back over to the Clarity platform. We've got a new tornado warning now. Now it's getting serious for downtown St. Louis. We've got a new tornado warning just west of the St. Louis metro area. We still have this confirmed tornado on the ground right now, kind of heading towards the Wildwood and the Chesterfield area. You can kind of see, it's messy, but you can kind of see a hook in here. Let's see if I can turn on the rotation tracks again. You can see, guys, where the tornado likely is in this bright blue color that you see. And so if you have friends and family in the St. Louis metro area, tag them in this video. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever the case may be, I want to keep folks safe in these areas. And this is an extremely dangerous situation with these storms moving towards the St. Louis metro area. And so now we have 3 tornado warnings bearing down on St. Louis. Not for downtown yet, but just west of downtown, in parts of the suburbs, in parts of the metro area, we have 3 tornado warnings, arguably 4 now with this other one down to the south. And so numerous tornado warnings, numerous storms with rotation tracking right towards the St. Louis area. If you are in St. Louis or you have friends and family that are in the St. Louis area, go ahead and get into your safe place now. If you're out traveling this evening, find somewhere to go. All of these storms mean business. We have at least one confirmed tornado on the ground with this pink tornado polygon that you see right here, which includes areas like Maryland Heights, Wildwood, Chesterfield, and O'Fallon. And so I know that we have a lot of Indiana followers that are probably wondering about storms. We're well off from activity in Indiana, and so I do want to focus in on this increasingly dangerous threat in the St. Louis metro area. While I have a second, I am going to invite Michael onto the stream here. He is going to join us. So I just sent him the stream link, and he's going to join us here shortly. I'm also going to take a look at some of my messages and what the team is showing here on our platform, seeing if they are seeing any kind of reports or anything with this storm. So I'm seeing here the timing. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to switch this location with this confirmed tornado because the guys have, see here, the guys have put out a nowcast. Yeah, it's not, here we go. Let's turn these off. There we go. All right, so here's the latest nowcast. And so this is timing out the confirmed tornado. So if you are in these areas, this is from a little while ago, this kind of gives you a general idea of timing associated with these with the confirmed tornado west of the St. Louis downtown area. And so, by 9:35 Central Time, Chesterfield and O'Fallon. By the time we work, it's about 10:05 Central Time. That's when this tornado would cross kind of the Missouri and Illinois border. And again, this is just the confirmed tornado. This doesn't include the additional tornado warnings that are with these other storms around the St. Louis metro area.
Brett, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello, Michael.
How are you?
I am better than these poor folks in the St. Louis area, unfortunately, right now. They're dealing with a heck of some storms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting caught up and taking a look. I saw some of the correlation coefficient scans of that storm down there in south central Missouri, and then yeah, that one right there,
Yeah.
West Palms. Wow, yeah, still looking gnarly.
2.5 inch diameter hail with that too, so it's probably a combination of a very large hail. And you can see the hail swath here, very large hail and probably debris being lofted into the air with this storm. You can see the hook.
Yeah,
See the hook, and I'm starting to get concerned because a lot of these storms are starting to take on kind of that look of a hook, if you will. You can see it with this one, southeast of St. Clair.
yep, yep. Let's see. I'm pull up radar here. Yeah, there's a let's see confirmed tornado 3 miles southwest of Villa Ridge, Missouri. Tractor trailer impacted on I-44. No further information. Let's see. Whew.
Yeah, I would imagine that the tornado, based off of what I see on radar right now, with the hook right here and where the rotation track is. Oh, there it is, right here.
Yep.
Confirmed tornado. You can tell right here based off the correlation coefficient. Probably a large tornado on the ground. What is this? Just north of Interstate 44 in the western St. Louis metro area.
Let's see. Correlation coefficient. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah. What is that? Just southwest of Chesterfield?
Yes, just southwest of Chesterfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the speed of that storm moving, Brett? Do we know? Let's see. It looks like they've got it moving northeast here at
55.
55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Damaging tornado ping pong ball sized hail with this storm.
Ping pong. There's a new tornado warning up there just northwest of Springfield, Illinois. Let's do time that out. Another tornado warning. Now we're really going here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see 10 tornado warnings right now from Arkansas through Illinois.
Yep.
Here's the new one right here. It's not confirmed yet. Turn on our rotation tracks. Not quite as impressive in terms of the rotation up here in Illinois. A little bit more QLCS, if you will, up here, rather than these are trying to become more discrete cells.
Let's see.
See if I can see some comments here.
I'm trying to get a timer on this, but it's okay. That's why I have to remember how to do that. It's been...
Let's see. Somebody asked why are these tornadoes so bad even though dew points are only in the 50s? That's a good question. A couple of reasons. The dynamics with this storm are so intense because we've got a near record breaking low pressure that it's just overcoming it. We're getting a lot of moisture advected into the storm here as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a really, really powerful front. And a good amount of probably evaporative cooling as well to bring the temperature down to the dew point. And so it's a perfect storm, really.
Yeah, and the upper level winds are. I mean, they're roaring. These low level jets kicking in too. The low level jet was really going to start kicking in around 10 o'clock, and that's what's happening too. Is
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing that bad boy fire up. Let's see here. There's a new scan.
I'm gonna switch over to radar or let's see here. There we go. All right, I'm gonna switch my screen. All right, so here's maybe a little bit more of an in-depth look at the velocity scans that we're seeing right now. This storm, Michael, that is producing the tornado is going right over the radar dome.
Yeah, it's just southeast of the radar dome by a mile or so.
So we've got a little bit of some interference here from the radar. It's probably not showing a complete picture of what's actually happening. You can kind of see a little bit of the rotation here, but just south of Chesterfield, but probably probably not getting the full picture. Let me see if I can turn on the terminal here. Doesn't look like it's
It's
working.
not working. Yeah. Let me share my screen real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I've got a. Oh, come on. I think it's going to want me to. Oh, here we go. Let's try this. Can you see my screen?
Yep,
Okay.
you're live.
This particular storm here, that's the one. Just there's the radar dome right there. You can see that's what we call the cone of silence. It's the actual technical real cone of silence is this, not a tornado, and then it vanishes like you saw in the movie Twister. But let's see another tornado warning coming out. Where's that down there? That's still that storm still going, isn't it? That one. So the one this one's going to go northwest of St. Louis Metro. It's going to hit places like Florissant or Alton or Godfrey, just west of the metro area. But the one that's interesting too, just south of the metro.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
starting to hook.
yeah, it's going to go right into the St. Louis area, and probably we should be looking somewhere right here. Let's get some info on that bad boy real quick. That one, if this one's going 55 miles an hour, we're just a little bit under an hour out in St. Louis here. It looks like it would population of 2.4 million. Check that out. That's
Not good.
no
That's
2.4 million people there. And that's St. Louis 10:56 p.m., which would be 9:56 p.m. local time.
Yeah, which is exactly what Tyler had put out a nowcast not too long ago that had it getting to downtown at about at 10 Central, so that matches up about perfect.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think I let me see here. Maybe starting to no, not quite. I was wondering if I was starting to see some debris down there. There's definitely some increasing rotation, kind of south of Cedar Hill Lakes, um, where that hooking is happening.
Let's see. Yep.
But I don't think there's a debris indication yet.
I go down.
I'm gonna double check this storm down in southern Missouri too. Yeah, that one is still on the ground in southern Missouri.
Let's see. Correlation coefficient. Yeah, look at that. That's probably some suspended debris up there, along with maybe some hail.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of it because the winds are so strong aloft that it's probably lifting the debris kind of almost out ahead of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And up here in Springfield, Illinois, let's go up here and see what we got going on. And these are trying. I mean, some of these are. This one's not too bad, just northwest of Springfield. Let's see what we got here. Some comments coming in, some questions.
Not expecting Ohio to be this bad tomorrow night. The worst of tomorrow is going to be down across the deep south. Indianapolis area not going to be probably this bad, but weakening line of storms that still could produce severe level wind gusts possible. Whoa,
That's you.
it's me.
Um,
There we go.
Brett, real quick, let's get a play out ahead here with the latest HRRR for some Indiana folks and kind of what we're thinking as we're getting closer there. On I know the on clarity, it was pretty it was pretty aggressive with the winds.
Yeah. So what starts to happen? This is by the time we work towards about 1 a.m.
Can't see
Eastern. Can you not see the screen?
you're on radar right now.
Oh, come on now. Thank you. There we go. All right. So here's a look at the sim radar. I still have the warnings on here so you can see where those are still ongoing right now. This is by about midnight central, 1 a.m. Eastern. You can still see the indication at this time, especially across southeast Missouri, southern Illinois. Still some discrete supercells down here, more of a messier line to the north. But as we see right now, while wind is the primary threat with this line to the north, still some isolated tornadoes possible
Mhm.
in the northern half of this line. But it takes a while to move in our direction. This is 2:30 Eastern. Still think that tornado threat is probably there. Paducah, maybe Evansville, all the way up towards Terre Haute. You can see that the line with time, especially to the north, becomes a little bit messier. But to your point, this is 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., so early tomorrow morning. If you look at the max wind gusts, go back to the future here. By the way, this is crazy out here. New tornado warning.
Mhm.
So here's the max wind gust through 2 a.m. So you can certainly see where some of the strongest storms are that could produce more than 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts down here where these brown colors are. As we go out through 5 a.m., which means the storms are kind of through central Indiana, you click around and most of the area is kind of at or just below severe criteria, but it's highlighting the potential in here that there could be a couple of storms that are still 60 to 70 mile an hour plus in terms of winds. It's not as widespread, which we've been talking about, by the time it works into central Indiana, but there's still a threat. It's not like the threat just goes away. It's just not as widespread. It's a little bit hit or miss in terms of these severe level winds. But Michael, 50, 55 mile per hour winds is still nothing to turn your nose up to. That still can cause damage.
Yeah, I mean, that model there is showing 70 plus mile per hour winds are still possible in that line.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think we can sleep necessarily on just the threat for severe weather at this point. Now that new tornado warning does include the north half of St. Louis metro area. I would imagine the southern part of that. I'm going to go back to if you go to the storm south of there, it's looking to be a little outflow dominant right now. Oh, well, that new scan's a little gnarly. It's an interesting look. The the estimated winds from radar right now and spots there are approaching 80 miles an hour, but it looks to be to me it's somewhat outflow dominant at the moment. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's obviously they're warning it for the history of it right now and for the fact it's hitting 2.5 million people. Um, let's see here.
Let's see. This red indicates, so with the Clarity platform, we highlight the tornado reported versus just the tornado warning. So the red polygon means that radar is indicating the potential for a tornado.
Hmm.
The pink polygon indicates that there is actually a confirmed tornado either via radar, with our correlation coefficient that we looked at indicating debris, or somebody has actually observed a tornado, which I believe at least this one near Chesterfield initially was actually observed by trained spotters.
Hmm.
So for downtown St. Louis, you can see here, this is not a confirmed tornado yet, but the storm has the potential to produce one.
Yep. Hmm. Yep. 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 Yep.
I'm going to turn on our rotation tracks again. Still pretty decent indications.
Yeah, yeah, there is. Let me see.
So I would say that if you're in St. Louis and you're watching right now, this is Michael. It's heading right towards the St. Louis airport in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna make it simple and say if you're at the St. Louis airport or any of those surrounding areas, Maryland Heights, Overland, St. John, Berkeley, Hazelwood, there is the potential for a tornado in those areas. I would be, if you have friends and family in this area, tag them, tell them to take shelter now. This is a very serious situation. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this area. Certainly, I'm sure around the airport, and it's still a concerning look. While for the second warning, a tornado hasn't officially been observed yet. There's still a lot of rotation. Another one could drop down pretty easily.
I'm just looking at the yeah, 0Z triple R and some of the parameters here. NAM3 is coming in as well. NAM3 initialized pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like it'd been doing pretty well. If anything, maybe a touch slow,
Mhm.
half an hour slow, but it's doing pretty well right now.
Let's see here. Huh. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, so it's safe to assume 11, 12, 1, 2. We're about, this is still about 4 hours away here across central Indiana. Um, it's a lot of times, guys, these types of setups at with just the sheer time of night and the overall placement of the front and where this is coming from. Um, these will come in thinking that it's going to make people think we're going to get hit pretty good. And a lot of times they can really crap the bed once they hit the Illinois Indiana state line. And
Yeah, I'd
I,
say that's climatology
yeah,
almost.
that's just history. You know, no matter what the models say, the models are trying to weaken it as it hits Indy. And I think what we're the bigger threat here is these collapsing thunderstorms and these straight line winds that could come out of them. Maybe I don't think we're going to be dealing with anything like this into Indiana tonight. Um, it just historically it doesn't support that to continue. So just something to keep in mind there.
Michael, real quick, I want to note this tornado warning near Winona and Van Buren, Missouri. This is a PDS tornado warning. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 8 miles southeast of West Plains, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Life-threatening situation here. Very, very dangerous situation for
Yeah.
these areas.
I've chased in there before. I've tornado chased in there before, and it is nothing but trees and valleys and hills. It's very difficult to see it coming, especially obviously at night as well. That's a tough area to be in for tornadoes.
Yeah, I hope there aren't a ton of people trying to chase that one down there. Here's another confirmed tornado. You can see the rotation tracks heading right towards Mount Olive in Arkansas and Melbourne in Arkansas. And guys, this is what we talked about. And if you watch the live stream earlier today, from St. Louis through northern Arkansas, that was the target area for these stronger tornado risk, and we're seeing a couple of potentially longer track tornadoes here across northern Arkansas and southern Missouri right now.
Mm-hmm. Which would kind of it really would kind of line up with um, that rear really the rear inflow or the part of the jet stream where that's starting to fire up down there. The right rear entry of that jet max. That makes sense to see that starting to happen. Let me go and check something out real quick. Yeah.
So here's the cool thing about Clarity, you can zoom right down into the street level. So continuing to watch this tornado warning for St. Louis, you can see two tornado warnings right now. One on the I guess right towards downtown, and the other one kind of on the north side. of the metro area, kind of in the suburbs. Sounds like a new warning issued. Um, but you can see this rotation here in Maryland Heights. Again, if there is a tornado, if another one does drop down, it's heading right towards the airport.
Mm-hmm.
You can see St. Louis Airport is right here. And so if there is another tornado right towards the airport, you can see that this is a relatively populated area just based off of all the side roads and the streets and whatnot. Probably suburban areas. I'm not as familiar with the suburbs in St. Louis, but just based off the street level data that I'm seeing here, it's probably pretty populated. A lot of interstates, kind of right over. Let's see what interstate this is here. 255, right over Interstate 255, and heading towards I-70.
Yep. Real quick, Brett, I'm going to share something. I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of areas, just because I've got a screenshot here from the latest plots of our low level jet, and you can see kind of the two hot spots, the left rear entry there, there in northeastern Arkansas and southeastern Missouri. You see that jet max there, 70-mile-per-hour jet max, and then look up here on the north side of this where the exit jet part is. You're kind of seeing the concentration of tornadic activity right along this jet max, from Springfield down to northeastern Arkansas, and which is kind of why we're seeing the flare up in tornado warnings right now as that starts to get going. There's another new tornado warning there in northern Arkansas right now.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tornado warnings active right now with this line.
So if we go to, let me go back to this radar share real quick here. And just more talking about the St. Louis metro area, the storm to the south here, again, here's your radar dome right here. Okay. And so what we have right now are these green winds are going to be winds coming towards that radar dome. Okay. And then these red winds are going to be winds blowing away, kind of the outflow, if you will, from the radar dome in and of itself. And one thing I'm noticing is this is certainly a wall of very strong winds coming into the north side of the metro area, but I'm not seeing well-defined rotation right now indicative of an actual strong tornado situation. And then St. Louis Metro being here, there's some indication. There's the new tornado warning. It's popped up just now.
Yep.
And that's probably what I'm just circling. There's some indication there now of more of a little bit defined possible rotation right there. That would be the concern, which is why that new warning just came out. If we look at the warning text on this, tornado observed, Brett.
Yeah, I was trying to go down.
And that's probably it right there.
Yeah, so this is a problem. The clarity rotation has suddenly jumped off the chart, heading towards Arnold, and yeah, a confirmed observed tornado that includes downtown St. Louis. This is going to track right towards downtown. Maybe just south, but it's going to be close.
So with this moving northeast at 60 miles per hour, let's get a timer on this, and right where this thing's going to be. This is obviously going to be the tornado right here. It's probably moving just about like that. We'll put in 60 mile per hour movement here. Yeah, wow, look at that next frame right there. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's probably almost already starting to look like there could be a debris ball there.
Yep. Let's get a new frame there. So, gosh, total population seems to be about 300,000 people in this small little area that I've drawn. Just again, that's the South St. Louis Metro. It's probably going to go. Let's come out a little bit and put that into loop here and kind of watch where that's going to. see here. I don't know, Brett. That's looking like a little bit more. May have turned right there.
Which would be good news for downtown, which is typical. If you do get a strong tornado, they do tend to move more right. So that would be good news for downtown. It's still going to be close.
Yep. Do 60 again here just to get that. Yeah, I mean, so now we want to keep in mind here, they are an hour behind, right? Out there.
Yes, so it's 9:38 Central right now.
These are going to be an hour behind, but um, let's see, Dupo, which is right here. That's 9:50. That's only 12 minutes. You're going to want to get into your shelter there. And again, the area I'm really watching is right here in this vicinity right here. Again, you can kind of see the winds coming this way and right here. Now, this particular scan was a little bit more encouraging. The latest scan there,
Mm-hmm.
it's seeing a little bit of a consolidation of that might be the storm might be cycling there. Let's go to the correlation.
I was going to say the latest velocity scan doesn't look as bad.
Mm-mm.
So perhaps it's lifted. Certainly still worth keeping a very close eye on, regardless if you're in these areas. If you're in really anywhere around the St. Louis area, you need to be taking shelter right now. You need to be in your safe space, safe place, whatever, and taking this situation very seriously, because regardless of whether there's a tornado on the ground right now, these storms have produced multiple tornadoes over the past 2 hours.
Yeah, and the other element to this, Brett, is it's almost 2-inch hail. I mean, one
Yeah,
thing we don't want to sleep on is the hail potential.
look at that.
That scan's a little behind, but that's a nasty hail signal. What's clarity showing on the hail signal?
Let's see. Showing 1.5 to 2 inches in spots. 1.5 inches.
You should go ahead and share your screen if you want.
It may even be um it may even be a little bit more intense than that in terms of the hail. So here's a look at the hail swath. This darker color here is a little over 1.5 inches. I think that the radar right now may actually be underdoing the hail sizes a little bit because of some of the dry air at the surface.
Mm-hmm.
That is a common bias that we don't really deal with a whole lot around here. But the air was pretty dry today, leading up to this system. So
Mm-hmm.
it's also earlier in the season, and I think that probably dealing with 1.75 inches with this one, 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches. So not that far off, but maybe slightly underdone.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the rotation. So I was just looking at this, Michael. That's correlation coefficient.
Yeah,
Still some
aggressive.
really strong rotation here
Mm-hmm.
as of 10:40. So it updated a minute ago.
I'm gonna head over real quick to X and just see if there's any reports there coming out of the St. Louis Metro.
So if there is a tornado with this storm, it would be just kind of along and north of Arnold and passing Interstate 55 right now, just south of St. Louis. So I don't know what, 15 miles south of St. Louis. It is moving northeast. You can see that there with the track. And so if we zoom in, the next areas would be Oakville, just south of Green Park and Concord, probably passing State Road 231 as we work over the next 10 minutes or so. and then potentially crossing the state line. I think based off of the kind of current trajectory of this, we would be looking just south of downtown in terms of where this would track. But
Mhm.
again, probably a little too close for comfort. There's another airport right here, it looks like, Michael, that would potentially be at play, though. St. Louis Downtown Parks Airport.
Aaron Rigsby just tweeted there's a large wedge tornado still ongoing north of Alton, Missouri. I'm not sure where Alton, Missouri is.
It may be this one.
Let's see, that
This
is,
Winona, Van Buren.
yeah, Alton is down that one down there in South Central, just west of Poplar Bluff, east of West Plains.
This
That
one
one right
here.
there. Yeah, this large wedge tornado on the ground right now.
Now we've got confirmed tornadoes down here in northern Arkansas, and multiple additional tornado warnings now in southern Missouri. We've got new storm development down here as well. Um, all kinds of problems right now, but certainly concerned about this one just because of the population.
Whew.
Latest scan weakened the rotation a touch, but still pretty strong. It does look like it should miss downtown in terms of the strongest rotation right now.
Yep. Okay.
Kind of going through some of the comments here. A lot of folks on YouTube, it looks like.
Well, while we're doing this, we can get a latest check here on the arrival. Still, a lot of people asking about. Obviously, a lot of people that are watching are asking about the arrival here of storms into Indy, um, and into the area. I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick, or you have it up. There it is.
I've got it.
There's the latest HRRR. You know, there's a state line of Illinois, Indiana. What time are we thinking there, Brett?
Yeah, state line, north probably arriving 2 a.m., south probably closer to 3 a.m. Um, starting to work into downtown. This says 4:30. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a little earlier than that, 3:30 or 4:30 a.m. But overnight, right in the middle of the overnight, basically, is when this is gonna hit central Indiana. If we zoom out, I'm still concerned at this time, Michael, of Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about nocturnal tornadoes down across Western Kentucky and Western Tennessee.
Hmm.
But early pre-dawn hours tomorrow, late overnight, whatever you want to call it, 3 to 5 a.m. is probably the go time for central Indiana.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, are these long track tornadoes and all this stuff going to make it into Indiana? And I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so either.
I think there could be on the state line. There could maybe be a potential of one. Of course, Brett. I don't know if you've seen the 01Z HRRR.
I'm not. So here's the latest model run here. Pretty much goes to what we talked about earlier. This is 3 to 6 a.m. max wind gusts. Again, a lot of central Indiana sub-severe, but there can still be a couple of storms that could be severe, 60, 70 plus mile per hour winds.
Hmm.
But note again, it's more isolated. There's one storm up here near Lafayette. There's another one down by Bloomington. Run to run, it'll change where it is. There's no way to know for sure whether it's over Indy or Bloomington at this distance. The theme is that the severe winds are a little more scattered in terms
Hmm.
of 60 to 70 plus. But everyone is going to have probably 50 plus mile per hour wind gusts as this line moves through.
Pretty crazy to see over here. I'll share back over here on Clarity. Pretty crazy to see the hail estimates there in the St. Louis metro area right now. Seeing on Instagram people getting hit pretty hard. Um, this is 1.7 inch hail being estimated there. Getting into again a heavily populated area.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. That's some strong hail. I mean, that's probably not something that they're super accustomed to out there. And you can see. I mean, just look at this. This is just, you know, that's a big hail signal there in the metro area of St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, Michael, because the tornado obviously is the biggest threat to life, but hail can cause major damages to to property too,
Hmm.
cars and buildings and roofs and all that stuff. So let's see what. Yeah, the sim radar still looks, probably gonna be some good thunderstorms overnight around here. Heavy rain for a time, thunder and lightning. Oh, I lost Michael. I'll go back and share my screen. Did I lose you? There you are.
I have no idea what happened. Hello.
Technology.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm right next to my router. I don't know what happened.
I don't
Hey,
know. You disappeared on me.
yep.
It does look like they've allowed a couple of these tornado warnings in the St. Louis area to expire.
Yeah, they're becoming outflow dominant right now. That one, Brett, is in just south of St. Louis. The newest scan is it's trying again, but it's not it's having a difficult time wrapping up. It's
Yeah,
I'm,
you can see the rotation
mhm.
still is there. It's definitely more south. It's definitely going to stay south of downtown. In fact, here's good news, and there's no conspiracy or anything, but you can see the rotation track splitting downtown north and south.
Yep.
Um, Cities can get hit by tornadoes. I know there's a myth out there that tornadoes avoid big cities. It's just, you know, good luck, God's intervention, whatever you want to believe.
Yep. Yeah, that's no science behind it. Put it that way.
No, I mean, we saw last year Chicago got hit with numerous tornadoes.
Yeah.
There was a tornado that went through Madison, Indiana, and crossed the Ohio River, so they can cross rivers and hills and lakes and whatnot too. So
I will say, Brett, the SPC, the latest day one outlook has expanded the significant wind threat east. If you go ahead and pull up the day one wind, you can kind of see what they've done there a little bit.
yeah,
Uh, and I think there's some indication there with the HRRR showing some of these storms having the potential to still have wind gusts over 70 miles per hour. Um, I think is I think is on the table with the strength of the low and the upper level winds. It won't take much to mix those winds down to the surface.
yeah, I completely agree. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. The dew points being lower, the humidity out ahead of this being relatively low. That's why I put my glasses on because my eyes are so dry.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
so windy and the humidity was so low today. So I'm probably not the only one that has dry skin and itchy eyes, but it's a symptom of what's going on in the atmosphere. And when you get very dry air, you get that evaporative cooling,
mhm,
and cold air is more dense. So you cool the air, and denser air as it falls to the surface picks up momentum and increases the wind speed.
yep,
And so I agree. I think that especially out to the Indiana-Illinois state line, these winds can still be 70, 80 mile per hour.
Yep, for sure.
Looks like a new couple new tornado warnings down here. New
Mhm.
confirmed tornado too.
That's that one Rigsby's on where he said there's a large wedge tornado on the ground. That might be.
Yep, here at 9:44 p.m. Central, so 11 minutes ago, confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Fremont, 14 miles west of Van Buren. It's a PDS tornado warning. This is probably the one that he was talking about in terms of a large wedge tornado. And we've got uh, really 3 cells here now. 1, 2, 3. All of them are tornado warned.
There's another new one. What
Nope,
that?
this one in St. Louis is confirmed now.
The one on the south side.
Yep.
Do you have?
So
Uh, you have? Yeah, there it is. Ooh,
look at
wow.
that. That's
Yep.
not good.
Uh-oh.
Thank goodness. I mean, you don't want to confirm tornado to hit anywhere, but if this had gone 5 miles north, we would be looking at a really, really devastating situation for the St. Louis downtown area.
Yeah.
But if you're just south of St. Louis, we and heading towards Belleville, that's still a decent city here, decent town. And so still a confirmed tornado on the ground just southeast of downtown St. Louis, heading towards Bellevue, Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, Shiloh, in this kind of general area. If we turn the rotation tracks back on, you can see here where the rotation is, kind of again, right near the airport. Um, so the airports have potentially taken a hit here, Michael, both of the St.
Yep.
Louis airports.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Um,
see anything on Twitter while you're looking here or X.
so I would say that in the next 5 minutes, this is going to be working over Fairview Heights,
Mhm.
crossing State Road 15, and then eventually towards I-64 in the next 10 minutes or so. Just some very rough timing there as we work over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. We've got a racetrack. I don't know where exactly it is, but it's close to this area, Worldwide Technology Raceway. Maybe it's further on the north side. I don't remember for sure.
Um, I'll tell you right where it's at. Give me just a second. I've got it. I've got it on my locations here on. Um, it is right. It is northeast of the St. Louis Metro, just east of Brooklyn. Or just yeah, there's Brooklyn and Fairmont City. Um, the St. Louis Zoo, which those are also clients of ours. They are just northwest of the St. Louis Metro. Um, so let's see where you are. Right, zoom in a little bit. It's just south of them, the raceway, the race park there. It's right. Go see where St. Louis is. Go just east of it and north a little bit, right in that area. Yep, just see right there, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I see it now.
So it's just south, and then the zoo is just northwest over there on the other side of the. Um,
The river.
yeah, so it's
So, well, that's again, that's good because those two big hot spots went north and south of
mhm.
some of the bigger areas in St. Louis. So, but still, we have a confirmed tornado. I'm going to read this. Confirmed tornado was located east of. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Carondelet, maybe, I don't know, or over Cahokia. Moving northeast at 50 miles per hour, damaging tornado and golf ball sized hail. Weather spotters confirmed tornado.
Mm.
Correlation coefficient hasn't. I don't think it's updated. Hasn't updated in. Refresh.
It's really near and just southwest of Bellevue. If you're in Bellevue, that seems to be a bigger city. You need to be in shelter right away. It's about 4 minutes away.
Yeah. Fairview Heights.
Yep. Yeah, it's the correlation coefficient, Brett, is showing a little south of the rotation on MRMS though, which is interesting.
Yeah, if you wanna,
Let
do
me
you have that up?
yeah, I do. Let me plug it in right here. See what I'm talking about here. So we're kind of looking in this area here in general. But what's interesting is now now if you look, there may be something. This is an interesting signal here.
Mm-hmm.
There may be something in between St. Louis and Centerville. Um, you can just kind of see the strong pull in here. There's probably some hail wrapped in this, Brett.
Yeah, I think that the warning 1.75-inch diameter hail.
Yeah, they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure why they did that. That's an interesting.
Which one?
That St. Louis storm where the tornado is, they also put a severe thunderstorm
Oh,
warning over it. Now they're saying 1.75-inch hail and considerable damage from it. It may just be the hail message too.
I think Michael, it's for the storm.
Oh
It's
wow!
the next storm.
Look at that! Look
Yeah,
at the return on that out there.
it's an
Holy
insane
crap!
hail signal. So that they're getting hit with the tornado warn storm with the confirmed tornado, and then they're gonna get hit with. I mean, to be honest, it says 1.75. With that look, it may be 2-inch plus diameter hail.
75 dBz, right there. That is incredible. That is not, I haven't seen something like that in a minute. Wow. Let's get a timer on that. So that one, that warning just came out, and it is moving off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if there's some 2-inch hail with that one. Let's come here, map that thing out just in general. Just kind of take that in this general direction there. That's 155,000 people. Again, take an hour off these times here because this is Central Time. But that's gnarly, dude. That's a gnarly hail signal right there. You can kind of
Just
see it's
getting Michael a report from that southern storm in southern Missouri
uh
of significant damage in Villa Ridge, Missouri.
significant damage in Villa Ridge, Missouri. Let's see. About where would that be?
Let's see, this was 30 minutes ago, it looks like. So I think it's going to be one of those. Let me throw it into the.
I've got the damage reports here. Is my screen still being shared?
Yep.
Yeah, large tree down. That's West Plains. There's a new tornado warning.
Oh, actually, I'm wrong. The Villa Ridge that's west of St. Louis. So
Yeah,
Villa Ridge is, you can see where those two red tornado reports are.
yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Report of extensive damage from spotter confirmed. Multiple buildings damaged and vehicles damaged. 1 mile south-southwest of Gray Summit, Missouri.
Yeah, Hope was texting me. Hope's from St. Louis. She's texted me. It's west of St. Louis.
Okay, so there's the radar as that went through. You can
Yeah.
you can see right where that would have been,
Mm-hmm.
right in that inflow notch there. Wow. Another tornado warning. Oh, here's a PDS
Yep,
extension on this now.
I see it.
Let's go
Van
into that.
Buren.
Where's a closer radar dome here? That's kind of
It is. It's in a kind of a radar hole.
So Van Buren, Missouri, right now, this particular instance, this is a tornado emergency.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic damage. At 9:59, a confirmed large and destructive tornado was observed near Fremont or near Van Buren, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Deadly tornado. Take cover now. And again, these are about the worst case scenario words: life-threatening situation, flying debris. If you're out ahead of this, if you're in Van Buren, you need to be in shelter now. It's again, the radar is a little sparse out here. Brett, why don't you take over and show clarity out there?
I've got real quick, Michael. I've got a damage report that Hope just sent me out of Rolla. So I'm gonna. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was from the storm earlier that went through Rolla, Missouri. You can see some pretty extensive damage there as well.
Robot vacuum just turned on. 11 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes. Yep. Hearing more tornado warnings issued. Okay. So just to review real quick on clarity, we've got 1, 2, 3 confirmed tornadoes right now on the ground. 1, 2 here in northern Arkansas. As actually may just be one. They've extended the tornado warning kind of near Horseshoe Bend. New tornado warning just south of that, heading towards Batesville, Arkansas. And then Van Buren, this is the one with the PDS tornado on it. This particular warning calling for catastrophic damage. Confirmed large and destructive tornado near Fremont, heading towards Van Buren, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. I'm going to turn the correlation coefficient here on again. Actually, I think it's kind of in that radar hole. It's not picking up on it. There's the rotation tracks, though.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see it now.
So
I don't know why that sounds. Has Van Buren been hit by a strong tornado before? That sounds like a town that's been hit before. I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah, look that up. Here's strong rotation here near Melbourne and Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas.
Yes, Brett. That's why it's ringing a bell. In May of 1957, an F4 tornado ripped through Van Buren, Missouri. There's it's actually a really big. That was a major tornado. That town has seen an F4 before. Yeah, and the photos of it are. I mean, it leveled. Yep.
Well, certainly prayers with them, because this it's a tornado emergency.
Yep.
Right now in Van Buren, Missouri. So
yeah, I knew I had heard that name before, and gosh, it is. I mean, it's coming right down into them. Let's just pray that it's not a repeat of what that was. Looking at, if you guys go to Google and search the Van Buren, Missouri tornado back in the 50s, it leveled the town. I mean, the town was left nothing. So they're granted, this was a long time ago, but this area has seen a tornado like this before.
Yeah, and it's heading right towards them, unfortunately. So if you've got friends and family in this area in Van Buren, Missouri, this is as dangerous of a situation as it possibly can get from a tornado. And so please call them, check on them, tell them to get into a safe shelter spot right now. All right, let me go back up to St. Louis area. These are no longer pink for confirmed, and it does look like, Michael, the rotation's weakening a little bit here in St. Louis.
Good.
But the threat, I think the big issue is probably going to be hail here.
Guys, I'm still seeing a lot of questions about should Indiana be concerned, and we've gone back and forth with this a little bit. We don't believe we should be concerned with this type of weather, but certainly believe that damaging winds can impact the area tonight between 2 to 4 a.m. Let's call it. Brett, show the nowcast there just from clarity, real quick. That the Mets have a nowcast out. You can kind of see the timing of the threats here for home, or for where we're from here. We're broadcasting out of Indy. And a lot of you are asking, but this is the time frame that was sent to our customers' devices on Clarity probably about 2 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the timing there. And if you guys again want to get access to Clarity, you can scan that code up there, or just go to bamwx.com and get access.
Yeah. So if you know want to get more information for your specific location too, again, Clarity is the place to do it. On our Facebook page too, earlier I did post the latest threat map that breaks it down by color to kind of highlight where the most widespread to the least widespread risks are going to be. So there should be a post there on our Facebook page that kind of highlights that as well, along with a couple of sim radar images. And so that should help you out as well if you're kind of trying to nail things down for your more specific location.
Brett, I will say the latest run, the last two runs of the HRRR, check your text there. But I'm just going to shoot you this. The O2Z run is these kind of are kind of trying to suggest a little bit more of a hold together here into
Yeah,
Indiana.
and I'm wondering, Michael, if it's just what does the jet look like in terms of does it weaken at all as it pushes into here? Do we just sustain this simply from a dynamic standpoint of the jet?
Yeah, I mean the zero Z. Yeah, I can go look, but yeah, it did not. The low level jet does not back down. Let me pull it up here real quick. Yeah, I get so frustrated having to sign into these model websites. It's just so. Do you have a login anywhere for these? Let me see.
Which one?
I don't know all of them. Can I burn all these model sites? Uh,
Soon.
I know. But no, if you look at O2Z, Brett, the low level jet is roaring here. It does not back down at all. In fact, it's probably a 70 to 75 knot low level jet.
Yeah. So that could, I mean, that is impressive. Um, so perhaps the wind threat at least increasing for Indiana.
Yeah, I would say right now, I would say that the wind threat's increasing. I don't think that's a bad thing to say. I can share what we're talking about real quick, just so you guys can see. Um, we're just talking about these upper level winds. You can see where they've started to fire up, which is why these storms started to get going. Look what the jet does as it moves east. It doesn't back down. And if you look at the general environment here over central Indiana at this time, um, there's still energy there. The HODO is still decent. That's a decent hodograph. Dew points around 50 degrees. That D Cape bread is high, 747. Um,
Yeah, and the dry layer there at the surface will help too.
yeah, there's a heck of a dry layer. I mean, this. Look at those. Look at those. That 850 wind there is. That's it, 75, 80 knots.
Yeah. So we may have to bump up the wind threat for central Indiana.
Which the
Um,
SPC did there on day one. That latest one.
yeah, I don't know if the tornado threat necessarily needs to be increased.
Yeah.
Um, because just from that sounding that you showed, there's still not a ton of moisture in the low levels of the atmosphere.
No.
So the cloud heights may be a little bit too high to support a more notable tornado threat around here. But on the flip side, that increases the wind threat.
I will say the LCLs it's too high for tornadoes here. They're
Yeah.
um,
So I would say tornado threat not increasing, wind threat is increasing.
yep. Let's see. Those are 10-meter. Let me go to. Let's see if Clarity's got future. Yeah. I mean, this latest run has these storms with 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's no slouch.
Nope.
So
Yeah, and it's coming through overnight. 2 to 4 a.m. I think is what that nowcast had, Michael. So we've got 3 to 5 hours until they even get here.
Well, let's Brett, let's watch these storms evolve. Once they get on the state line, if they're still ripping and roaring, we'll come back, we'll come back live. And talk about this if we need to. Again, just from that 1 to 4 a.m. time frame, guys, just be ready. Have your phones charged and have good ways to get warnings. And keep an eye out. I mean, it's possible we're going to be losing some power tonight, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked by that at all, and get some strong storms here as they roll through. So, Brett, let's reevaluate around 1 or 1:30. Just kind of check things out and see if we need to, what we need to do.
Yep, sounds like a plan. For folks out in Missouri and northern Arkansas, stay safe. Gosh, heed warnings. Clearly, any of these storms, any of those supercells down there have the capability of producing tornadoes, multiple confirmed tornadoes. I did just get another text from Hope that said reports of Villa Ridge mobile home park destroyed. That was that town west of St. Louis. So
yeah, I see it right here. Overturned semi. Multiple large trees down. There's several reports coming in. Tree on a house. Trees down. Yeah, there's a lot of reports coming in there northwest of St. Louis too. So
yeah, and at this point, the tornadoes. I just saw somebody ask, the tornado threat is pushing east of St. Louis at this point. It's those cities east of St. Louis that are at the biggest risk right now, as well as southern Missouri, that tornado emergency in northern Arkansas.
Brett, we did just get a severe thunderstorm watch. I am going to share that real quick for central Indiana. It's not populating yet. Oh, wait. We issued the watch.
Oh, wow.
This is a BAM product. So the Mets, our meteorologists, this is a private service that we provide to our clients, but we've issued a severe thunderstorm watch. The Mets have. Severe thunderstorms will cross the Indiana-Illinois border after 1:30, increasing potential for gusts of 65 to 75 miles per hour, which is everything we've been talking about. So yeah, makes a lot of sense. I'd show it if I could. I can't. We're going to Met products.
But hey, that gives you some idea. If you don't have clarity, that gives you some idea of all of the alerts and insights and custom commentary that the meteorologists are putting out right now.
Yep. There's the watch that they issued. This is an inside look at behind the scenes, but this is where these guys our Mets right now that are on shift are worried about. If you're a Clarity customer, you did just get this alert sent to your device, which I think is great. I strongly agree with it. So we'll keep you posted, guys. Clarity will keep you posted. If you don't have it, check it out, and we will we'll be back here in a little bit as these storms get closer.
All right. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. We'll chat soon.